Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. This is an art collage novel video. I made this series so you guys can experience the story faster. The video will focus on the character's psychology, the images are for illustration purposes only. Lu Gu followed close behind Zhenghai. The two opponents, armed with a saber and a sword, fought with the most brutal and primitive method. At this moment, the long-robed cultivator at the peak of the imperial city shouted again, "Get ready. 15 minutes more." Wuya looked around his surroundings and said, "The 10 terminal formation will disappear in 15 minutes. Those in the divine court realm and above, get ready." Understood. Meanwhile, there was another commotion in the imperial city, many archers began to appear. Standing behind the archers, a stocky man looked down at the battlefield with a fierce gaze. "Prepare to fire." Wuya looked up at his eldest senior brother and Lu Gu, who were fighting fiercely. He reminded his eldest senior brother immediately. "Wang Yu has appeared. Eldest senior brother, look out." Bam. 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 Zhenghai seized this opportunity to slash 3 times with his saber and sent Lu Gu flying. However, the recoil sent him flying back among the Nether Sect members as well. "Sect Master. I'm fine." However, the truth was one of Zhenghai's arms was already paralyzed. Lu Gu turned to look at his men and cried out, "Fire! Fire!" Swoosh! 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 Zhenghai raised his arm and swung it, breaking the arrows that were flying toward him. At this moment, Wuya leaped 5 meters into the air and pressed a button on his peacock plume. Several golden needles shot out immediately. Each golden needle landed accurately on an archer. Wang Yu looked down at Wuya and exclaimed in shock, "You?" Wuya landed slowly. He looked up with a smile and said, "General Wang, you finally appeared." Traitor. Wuya had been an official in the palace. It was not strange for Wang Yu to recognize him. The emperor, Lu Gu, looked up. He was slightly annoyed at his general for bickering at this moment. He said, "What are you waiting for?" "Yes, your majesty." Wang Yu stood at the peak of the imperial city and looked down at the Nether Sect members. He looked at the color of the curtain-like barrier in the sky before he loudly announced, "Elders of the Big Dipper Academy and the Sky Conduct Academy, assemble." 2 white-robed cultivators occupied each of the 10 eyes of the formations. Only one was occupied by one cultivator. However, this did not stop the 10 terminal formation from functioning. The 19 elders looked at the skies. Every time the 10 terminal formation is activated, it'll only last for 2 hours. We will have to wait for another hour before we can reactivate it. Everyone, heed my call. Kill those on the fiend path. Glory to the emperor. Kill those on the fiend path. Glory to the emperor. Kill those on the fiend path. Glory to the emperor. The voices seemed capable of shaking the heavens. The remaining imperial guards in the imperial city ran out. With the gravity weakened, the armored imperial guards became extremely brave. Since they were as light as swallows now, the Nether Sect members were surely on the losing end. Upon seeing this, Wuya ordered, "Form groups of 3s and kill them." The Nether Sect members were well trained. They formed groups of 3 swiftly and advanced instead of retreating. They charged at the imperial guards fearlessly. The imperial guards had been heavily injured to begin with, so the Nether Sect had the advantage in numbers. With this strategy, the Nether Sect members were not afraid to clash with the imperial guards. They overwhelmed the imperial guards with sheer numbers. No matter how powerful each imperial guard was, they could not fight off multiple opponents at once. Bam. 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 In the crowd, the most brutal fists and blades were unleashed without care. Zhenghai stomped his feet on the ground and charged at Lu Gu again. Bam. A saber clashed with a sword. Crack. After the prolonged battle, the sword could no longer withstand the repeated attacks from a heaven-grade weapon and broke. Die. Zhenghai raised his saber with both hands and brought it down toward Lu Gu's face. Lu Gu's expression darkened as he flipped back. At this moment, a loud explosion rang in the air. The curtain-like barrier disappeared, and the clouds dispersed. A strong gust of wind was stirred up as primal chi surged. The 10 termination formation was gone. With this, everyone regained their cultivation bases as their primal chis were quickly restored. Zhenghai pushed both palms out, launching 2 palm seals in the air. Bam! Zhenghai flipped backward and stabilized himself. Zhenghai, not even the heavens are on your side. Give it up. Whiz. An avatar appeared. The 100-foot-tall, lotusless 8-leaf avatar towered in the air. The cultivators inside the divine capital looked up at it. Zhenghai was inwardly shocked. He did not expect Lu Gu to be capable of recultivating back to the 8-leaf stage in such a short time. The appearance of Lu Gu's avatar shocked everyone in the divine capital. At this moment, Wang Yu cried out and summoned his 8-leaf avatar as well. Whiz. Wang Yu leaped off the Imperial City's peak and swept his gaze across the Nether Sect members. What would the Nether Sect now that there were no other 8-leaf cultivators to deal with him? At this moment, the 19 white-clad cultivators rose into the air and hovered above the Imperial City. Zhenghai hovered in the air and surveyed his surroundings. The Big Dipper Academy? The Sky Conduct Academy? The 19 elders looked down from the skies. The fiend path is wreaking havoc in the world. All of them should be eliminated. An elder said. With the elder setting the precedent, the other chanted along with him. The fiend path is wreaking havoc in the world. All of them should be eliminated. Wuya looked up and said, "Eldest senior brother, it's up to you now." This was the reason Wuya had asked if Zhenghai was confident before the battle began. After all, once the 10 terminal formation was gone, Zhenghai would have to fight against multiple opponents. This was as far as the tens of thousands of Nether Sect members could accompany him. Zhenghai turned around with his hands on his back. He said frostily, 8-leaf? The 19 elders were not 8-leaf cultivators. On the Imperial City's side, only Lu Gu and Wang Yu were left. Suddenly, Zhenghai seemed to vanish into thin air. Wang Yu did not expect Zhenghai to attack without warning. In the next second, Zhenghai appeared above Wang Yu. The jasper saber in his hand glinted brightly in the sunlight. Great Dark Heaven Memorial, the Sovereign Descent. With Zhenghai in the center, the entire Imperial City was instantly covered by energy sabers. They rained down like water from the sea, seemingly unending. The Imperial Guards were powerless to defend themselves, they were instantly killed. Wang Yu brought his avatar toward the horizon in an attempt to dodge the attack. Zhenghai unleashed his grand technique again. He caught up to Wang Yu swiftly and rained down blows on Wang Yu. Bam! Zhenghai's energy sabers landed on Wang Yu's avatar. Crack! The avatar's arm was sliced off. A wretched wail rang in the air. Wang Yu began to panic. He wanted to run away, he did not hesitate as he turned tail and fled. Zhenghai unleashed his grand technique again. He dove like an eagle catching a chick. The dark heaven starlight. The energy sabers had sealed off Wang Yu's routes of escape. He turned around, trying to put up a fight. The jasper saber spun as it flew in a cutting motion toward Wang Yu. Boom! Wang Yu reeled back. He was powerless to defend himself. They were both 8-leaf cultivators, and yet, their strength was as different as the heavens and the earth. The cultivators inside the divine capital were stunned by this sight. Why does Wang Yu seem like a 7-leaf cultivator instead of an 8-leaf cultivator? Is he for real? Are my eyes deceiving me? Has Wang Yu been pretending all along? Impossible. How can you fake an 8-leaf avatar? It might be possible for a low-rank avatar. For a high-rank avatar, I'll eat shit before I believe the avatar can be faked. After Zhenghai unleashed his grand techniques thrice, Wang Yu lost the power to fight. Zhenghai flew up. From the beginning to the end, Lu Gu had been watching the battle, he did not interfere at all. After the battle ended, he applauded as he said, "My horizons have been widened. Alas, you've wasted too much primal chi. Wang Yu has already served his purpose. Show me what you've got after hiding in the palace all these years." Swoosh. Zhenghai unleashed his grand technique again. In the next instant, he appeared before Lu Gu and struck with his palm. The Great Dark Heaven Palm Seal. Bam. Lu Gu lifted his hand to block the attack. However, he was still pushed back by the impact from the palm seal. Everyone watched with their mouths agape. They finally understood Zhenghai's every move was done with his full strength. On the other hand, a frown appeared on Wuya's face as he continued to watch the battle. Although Zhenghai's movement was slightly reminiscent of his master, he knew Zhenghai's primal chi would soon be depleted. How was Zhenghai supposed to fight at that time? The 19 elders were shocked by Zhenghai's domineering attacking style. They dared not join in the fight. They could only look at them blankly. Boom. 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 Zhenghai kept pushing forward. The buildings in their path crumbled as they flew westward. The area was soon flattened. "You're mad." Lu Gu frowned and kept sending out palm seals. "I've told you. I'll kill you today." An energy saber appeared. Great Dark Heaven Energy. "You're a madman." Without a second word, Lu Gu fled from the divine capital and the imperial city. Upon seeing this, Wuya said at once, "Send word to the evil sky pavilion, quickly." Cloud Rage River. Understood. Wuya looked around before he called out, "Hua Chongyang. Here. Stand up. Stay by my side." Wuya's voice was filled with strength. Hua Chongyang did as he was told. Whiz. A 7-leaf avatar suddenly appeared, expanded, and disappeared. Among the Nether Sect, the cultivators with avatars summoned their avatars in unison as though they had a tacit agreement. Whiz. A mystical and resonating sound rang in the air. Unlike the sound that resonated in the air when an avatar appeared, the combined appearance of avatars produced a powerful sound. The 2-leaf and 3-leaf avatars of the 12 branch masters and the 10 worlds avatars of the dozens of Nether Sect members shone at this moment and illuminated the entire divine capital. Hua Chongyang forced himself to look optimistic and uninjured. He looked at the sky and said, "Let's see who dares to make a move." The 19 elders were stunned by what they saw. They looked at Wang Yu, who was heavily wounded and lying on the ground, before they looked at each other meaningfully. Wait for His Majesty's return. All right. After what seemed like hours, Zhenghai and Lu Gu were still fighting. It was only when the duo passed through the city gates that the cultivators in the divine capital sighed in relief. Nobody could keep up with the duo. They could not observe this shocking battle. They could only sigh helplessly and direct their attention to the Nether Sect Wuya and the 19 elders. Meanwhile, Zhenghai chased after Lu Gu. His energy saber shone brilliantly as it swept through the forest, rivers, and mountains. "You have nowhere to run to." Boom. 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 Lu Gu suddenly released countless rune seals. The rune seals collided with the energy saber. He suddenly stopped moving, turned around, and looked down. "Cloud Rage River is where you'll die." Zhenghai, without Wuya, your wits are no match for mine. This was how it was back then and how it is now, Lu Gu said as he hovered in the air. Nonsense. Zhenghai disappeared and reappeared above Lu Gu. The sovereign descent. Countless energy sabers fell down like an outpour of rain. Lu Gu shouted. "Do you really think that I have no techniques?" He waved his sleeve that shone with a red light. Magistrate brush. A red brush that shone with red rune seals hovered in midair. The red rune seals formed a wall-like shield that stopped the energy saber. Zhenghai's eyes flashed fiercely as he said, "You and I were sold to Lulan back then. I treated you as a brother, ready to go through thick and thin with you. I even saved your life. Yet, you killed our kin, Zhenghai, for glory and riches. You even snuck up on me when I was injured. How can I face my deceased kin if you're still alive? How can you face me alive? It only goes to show that I made the right choice. The Lulan Grand Shaman has promised me and given me the looks of the Emperor. You said that you didn't want to be bullied anymore. You wanted to trample on those who bullied you. I've done all that on your behalf. Aren't you supposed to be happy? Lu Gu said. Happy? You can say all that to our ancestors when you go to hell. I've already cleared the graves of our ancestors a long time ago. From this day on, there are no longer Wookieans in this world. Swoosh. Zhenghai kept unleashing his grand technique. The dark heaven starlight instantly sealed Lu Gu's routes of escape. The huge spinning energy saber shot toward Lu Gu. Gifted writing. Lu Gu tossed his magistrate brush out. The tip of the brush shone with a red light before shooting out red rune seals that scattered into the surroundings. It seemed to be drawing red flowers in the air as it shot toward the dark heaven starlight. Boom. 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 Zhenghai summoned his avatar. His 8-leaf avatar descended from the skies and crashed down. Lu Gu scoffed as he summoned his avatar as well. His 8-leaf avatar suddenly raised both palms and grabbed Zhenghai's avatar. At the same time, the 8 leaves spun out like energy blades. Zhenghai had not fought a Lotus-less elite before. He, naturally, found it strange. Bam. When the leaves were almost upon him, Zhenghai quickly flipped backward. He could sense a threat to his life and quickly dodged the attack of the remaining 7 leaves. Lu Gu said tonelessly as he unleashed sound waves, "There's no way for you to come back to life if you die in Cloud Rage River. You'll sink to the bottom forever. I'm protected by witchcraft. Even without water, I can still be resurrected. How are you going to fight against me?" Zhenghai frowned slightly. Lu Gu continued to say, "Moreover, you can never win against me. Zhenghai, open your eyes wide and look closely at my avatar." Zhenghai's avatar was higher while Lu Gu's avatar was lower. The 8 leaves were spinning around freely and without restrictions. One of the leaves seemed to be splitting. 8.5 leaves? Zhenghai was shocked. I have the Big Dipper Academy and Sky Conduct Academy research avatars for me. I know all about the ways to fight with this new avatar. I've only put up with you for so long to lead you here. Lu Gu raised his hand slightly and said, "Is the 8-leaf stage powerful?" Zhenghai did not hesitate. He produced a pill from his pocket and swallowed it. Lu Gu was slightly stunned. He wondered what Zhenghai was doing. Zhenghai said coldly, "The 8-leaf stage is indeed powerful." He sped forward and disappeared from sight. He flew into his avatar and became one with it. At the same time, his body glowed with a golden radiance as though he was set aflame. "You're still as wild as ever. I'd like to see what you can do with a primal fiend potion." Whiz. The 2 avatars collided. The sound of the collision resounded through the forest, causing the birds and the beasts to flee and the fishes to swim away. The water surged, and the wind blew violently. Zhenghai had consumed the primal fiend potion. This was his source of confidence today. This was why he had confidently released grand techniques after grand techniques without holding back earlier. Saber. Zhenghai's Jasper saber flew up toward Lu Gu's avatar at a peculiar angle. Lu Gu tossed his magistrate brush out again. The 2 weapons collided. Boom. Lu Gu descended while Zhenghai flew upward. The 2 of them engaged in a fierce battle above Cloud Rage River. Zhenghai had been attacking with his full strength since the beginning. Under the frenzied attacks of a peak 8-leaf cultivator, even the 8.5-leaf Lu Gu felt the pressure. Boom. Zhenghai unleashed his sovereign descent again. The energy sabers struck Lu Gu's avatar. At this moment, Lu Gu could not stand it anymore. He cried out, "Enough. Then, he unleashed all his might and moved his avatar. His avatar grabbed Zhenghai's avatar. The magistrate brush shone with a unique red radiance. Sweep away an army with a brush, abandon wisdom. The magistrate brush swiftly wrote 4 scripts in the air. The red scripts from the abandoned wisdom swirled around the sharp brush tip and flew toward the avatar's palm. The avatar grabbed the abandoned wisdom scripts and thrust out. Zhenghai lowered his avatar and advanced instead of retreating. He bore down with his saber. Swoosh! The magistrate brush was embedded into the chest of Zhenghai's avatar. The jasper saber formed a huge energy saber that partially sliced down Lu Gu's shoulder. Bam! The 2 opponents fell at the same time, their avatars dissolved in the wind. Zhenghai wiped away the blood from the edge of his lips. Then, he tapped his Dantian Sea of Qi again, burning it. He struck with his palms and flew into the air. He hovered in the air proudly as he spread his hand and the jasper saber spun back into his hand. He brought his saber down again. He was not giving Lu Gu any opportunity to catch his breath. "You're trying to take me down with you?" Lu Gu already had a sneaking suspicion that Zhenghai was trying to do just that. He would never throw his life away like Zhenghai. Ping in. Look at me. Remember the look in my eyes. Die. Zhenghai bore down with his energy saber. "I won't die." Lu Gu gritted his teeth angrily and raised his arm. He instinctively stabbed upward with his magistrate's brush. The duo faced each other before they fell down. The brush stabbed into Zhenghai's heart, the jasper saber cut into Lu Gu's internal organs as well. At this moment, the wind slowly died down, and the energies scattered. Zhenghai gripped the hilt of his jasper saber tightly and pushed it into Lu Gu. Lu Gu did the same with his magistrate brush. Blood gushed out. The blood of the Wookieans fell into Cloud Rage River like blooming flowers, dyeing the river red. Zhenghai was expressionless, save for a smile on his face. He seemed to be satisfied with the outcome of the battle as he said, "You've lost." "I haven't lost. You're the one who lost." Lu Gu's eyes were filled with contempt. He would lose one of his lives now. Bam! The opponents separated. Zhenghai looked at the surface of Cloud Rage River. He never thought that the blood of a person could be this beautiful. It was as dashing as the red flowers in spring. At this moment, the effects of the primal fiend potion were beginning to fade away, his primal qi was dissipating as well. He felt his life slipping out of his body at this moment. "I've already died twice anyway. I've been studying on the mountain for 300 years. My great limit is already near at hand. No matter how I look at it, I'm the winner." Zhenghai chuckled and said, "You, on the other hand, died once in Lulan. Now, you're dying again. You've been honing your skills for 300 years, and yet, all you're left with is 1 life. What good would that do you?" "You?" Lu Gu glared at Zhenghai.